Hello, and thank you so much for clicking on my video. Welcome to my channel, Lovely Moments Creating. My name is Jeannie, and on this channel, I create budget-friendly decor that's easy to do. For this first DIY, I have this Farm Fresh Happiness sign from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to be removing the ribbon, and I'm going to be removing the little tacks in the front. I'm going to keep those tacks because I'm going to be replacing them, and I'll be using some buffalo check ribbon from the Dollar Tree. Now, to remove the paper, I just pull up as much as I can. There's so many different techniques that work. This is just the one that I use. Once I scrape up as much paper as I can, I just use a damp sponge and I rub off the residue, and it comes off pretty easy. I just rub over it, and as you can see, it just rubs off. Now what I'm going to do is grab some of that paint from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to be using the color Heather Green. This acrylic paint is water-based, and it's not so much of a full coverage. It's more like a stain, and so I wanted to use these paints today to give these signs a high-end look. If you want it to be full coverage, you will have to go in with mini coats, maybe like 3 or 4 or maybe more, but I love using these paints if I just want a hint of color or if I want a color stain. I am going to give this 2 coats because I do want this a little darker than the other signs that I'm going to be creating today. So once I get that done and it's painted, I'm going to be using this buffalo check ribbon here from the Dollar Tree, and I cut down 2 pieces. I'm actually going to put the hanger back on this sign just the way it was. So I'm going to be using some hot glue to tack it down in the back, and then I'm going to be doing this on the other side as well, just making sure I have them at the same level so that my hanger will balance. And then I'm just going to flip it over and add that little hanger with the dowel on it right in the center, and then I'm just going to tack down the ribbon, and then I'll be putting those tacks right back in there. This sign is so simple. I absolutely think it came out really cute. It was cute as is, but I wanted to make it look a bit more high-end, so I thought if I change it up a little bit, and I want it to be for fall as well. So what you see me doing is just pushing those tacks back down. Now the Dollar Tree had this really pretty pick with these little small sunflowers and other florals on there, and I'm just going to clip those down, just bringing in some fall. And then what I'm going to do is just tack these down in a cluster right to the side. You can do so many things to this sign. I wanted to keep it as simple as possible, but I wanted to look really nice. Now I did take a sanding block and sand down the edges of this sign a little bit, not much, just a little bit, to give some of that natural color around the edges. The Dollar Tree have these wood signs, and they have this one that says home, and I didn't want to paint it. I wanted to keep it as natural color because it blend in with the florals really good, and that is going to be it for this first sign. I think it came out really cute, and I also picked another one of those Farm Fresh signs up to create something for Christmas. This next sign is absolutely adorable from the Dollar Tree. I have one of these wood rounds, and I'm just removing the jute hanger, and I'm going to be using that Heather Green paint again, and I'm just going to be using a chip brush, and I'm just going to go in with 1 coat, just brushing up and down to try to get a distressed look. I will not be adding a second coat because the color that I'm going for can be accomplished with just this 1 brush of paint. Plus, you're not going to see a lot of this sign. The holes are going to be covered also by these cupcake fall holders that I picked up from the Dollar Tree. I thought these would be perfect for the border around my sign. So as you can see, I'm just lining them up, and I am going to cut one of them down. I'm just making sure that I have my placement good to where my pumpkins line up with the previous pumpkin from the other cupcake holder. Once I have all of that lined up and I have it cut down, what I'm going to do is use some Mod Podge to add my cupcake holders to my sign. So I'm just going to remove everything, and then I'm going to be placing the Mod Podge on the sign first and then brushing it, and then I'll just place my cupcake holder down. Initially I was adding the Mod Podge to the border as well as the sign, but I realized I didn't necessarily need to do that, so I just placed the glue on the sign and then place the border on top, because after I get all of my pieces tacked down, I will be going over this entire sign using the Mod Podge. I hope everyone had a fantastic week. I didn't get a chance to post as I had scheduled because my niece had to go out of town. So for 4 days, I was the babysitter of her 3-month-old sweetheart. He was a joy to have in the house, but I'm telling you, a 3-month-old at my age, I didn't get much sleep. I was pretty busy trying to keep up with the house and take care of the baby. I'm telling you, I enjoyed him being here, but yeah, it was a lot. I was pretty busy, but I'll do it again in a heartbeat. So now that I have everything tacked down, I'm just going to go over this entire sign with the Mod Podge. This sign is absolutely adorable. Now you can create a hanger for this sign, but I'm going to be using mine as a leaner. So I found this other cute sign from the Dollar Tree, and it says welcome. I'm going to pull off this little beaded hanger because I'm going to use that for another sign, and I'm just going to clip off 2 of these little greenery pieces here, and I'm going to be grabbing some other little greenery pieces for this sign. Now what I'm going to do is just hot glue this round welcome sign right in the center, and I thought this blended in really good with the border. And then what I'm going to do is take those greenery pieces along with some other ones, and I'm just going to place them around the sign. I wanted to bring in some greenery, and plus this greenery kind of blended out the places where I had the border pieces connecting together. I just thought the little greenery pieces added a really cute touch. This sign was really simple, but it's so adorable. I absolutely love the colors of this, and I just thought really adding these greenery pieces just sort of blended in with the pumpkins on the border. So once I get a few more of these greenery pieces tacked down, that is going to be it for this sign. Once again, I think it came out so cute, and I absolutely love it. Now for my next sign, I have these 2 cutting board farmhouse signs from the Dollar Tree, and what I'm doing is just pulling up the 2 metal words. One says moo, and one says oink, and I just thought I might as well keep these because they'll be perfect for some other DIYs that I can do in the future. Now you don't need 2 signs. I am using 2 signs just to make this cutting board sign a little bit more sturdier, because these signs are kind of thin, and so they will appear to be sort of warped, and so I just wanted this to have a high-end look. So what I'm doing is attaching 2 of them together using some hot glue, and I'm just going to have them facing each other. That way both sides will be you know unfinished, so I can have a finished back if I paint one sign. And this really elevated this. It gave it a much sturdier form, and I'm just going to go in with that pumpkin color paint. Now I know this look yellow, but it's the name for their color is pumpkin, but this color was perfect because I didn't want a really vibrant yellow. So that's why I chose this color. And once this paint dries, it really sets into that. So it dulls it down, which giving me like a more like a tint, more of a stain. This pumpkin stencil, I did pick this up from Hobby Lobby. It was 2 stencils in this pack for $1.99, and I got that pack for 40% off. So what I'm going to do is just use this tape to tape it down at the top and the bottom so that I can keep this stencil in place. Now I usually go in an up and down motion with a foam brush to add my stencils, but I am going to use a paintbrush and just brush over everything because I don't want this to be really neat. I want it to look like a freehand um, painted pumpkin, if that makes sense. And because I cannot freehand paint, I am going to use this stencil to do it. But I do have a friend. Her name is Kay, and I'm going to link her channel in the description box below. If you are interested in seeing like freehand and painting and things like that, that's the channel to check out. She's absolutely phenomenal when it comes to just painting things and creating wonderful decor. So now I'm going back over that stem, not all the way at the top, just with some of that cafe color chalk paint. And then now I'm taking a paintbrush and I'm going along the grooves that will be in the pumpkin where the stencil the stencil had the opening where the paint didn't go in. I don't know. I'm sure you guys understand what I'm saying. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to trace around the pumpkin as well because I want this to look like I just mysteriously painted it on my own without a pumpkin stencil. Yes, when I finish painting that, as you can see, I'm going in with this foam brush to just distress it and to make sure that it looks really natural. Now I have this raffia skirt, the luau skirt, and I'm just going to attach this to the back, and I'm going to wrap it around the front a few times, and then I'm just going to leave some of it hanging. Once I get to the front, I'm just going to tack that hanging piece down. I didn't want to do too much. I just wanted to create a really simple high-end looking fall sign. I'm taking some of this buffalo check ribbon from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to create a really simple bow, and I am going to tack that down right to the side, and that is going to be it, I thought. But then I had a pack of the faux leather words, and I pulled out the one that said I'm grateful, and hot glued it right in front of my pumpkin, and that is just a little touch that I needed, and I really do like how this one turned out. Now for this next sign, I have these two fall tag signs from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just cutting off the hanger because I am going to be gluing these two signs together like I did the previous sign to make this a little bit more sturdier. So I'm just cutting off the hangers, and then I'm going to add my hot glue and line these two signs up, and then I'm just going to press them down and make sure that they are nice and secure. I do this sometimes and sometimes I don't, and that's because some signs look pretty sturdy and pretty good, but the ones I find that's sort of warped and I just want really nice looking decor, then I will attach two signs together. It's just depending on the sign that I find in the Dollar Tree. So now I'm going to go in with all three paints that I picked up from the Dollar Tree. The first color I'm going to be using is that heather green, and I'm just going to brush that right on top using that chippy brush. And once again, these paints are water based and they really soak into these signs, so you're not getting that full coverage. It's more, like I said, a stain, but I think it gives your signs a high-end look. But for this one is going to have a lot of color to it because I am using all three. So once I get that green brushed on and it dries down, I'm going in with the next color. As you can see, some of that dried down, but I didn't want it all to dry because I want these colors to blend. So this next color that I'm going in with, I really like this color. It is called chestnut. I'm doing the same thing, brushing it right on top, not trying to be perfect, leaving some of the color at the bottom. Then I'm going to go in with the last color, which is that yellow, but it's called pumpkin, and I'm just going to blend that right on top, trying to blend those two colors together, and it's actually going to give me like a dark orange. I'm also going around the sides as well. I really do like how this color turned out. I know the process don't look so good, but this, when it dried, just really screams fall, and it turned out so pretty. So once it dry, I'm going to take that sanding block from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to distress over it. This you can see the hint of the green and the other colors at the bottom, and then I don't know if the camera is doing any justice, but if you turn the sign different ways, you can see the highlights of those colors being blended together. So I'm just sanding down the sign a little bit, just bringing in a little bit distress. Once I get that complete, I'm going to take that little beaded hanger that I took off that welcome sign in the previous DIY, and I'm going to hot glue that to the front, covering up that hole. And then I'm going to take that bead and kind of push it to the top of the sign, add some hot glue, and tack that down, so that way if I hang this, it will be flush up against the wall. So once I get that tacked down, as you can see, I'm going to add the glue right to the top and then push the bead right on top of the sign. I'm going to start embellishing my sign, and what I'm going to be using is this gather sign from the Dollar Tree, but I'm going to be cutting off that arrow, and I'm just going to be using this little knife that I picked up from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to go over that a few times until it's easy to break off, or till I can get my scissors and cut it off. Now usually when I cut wordings down, I go in and add some paint close to that color, but I'm not going to do that for this gather sign because I went in with a sanding block and distressed it a little bit, so I was okay with some of that natural color being seen. But you can always go in with the paint close to this color and paint where you know, cut the edges off. But once I sand it down with the sanding block and distress some of the other letters, it actually looked great. I'm going to take some hot glue and add it to the words, and then I'm just going to place it right on my sign. And I love these colors together. It's so natural and just look really great. I have this pick that I picked up from Walmart. It has these lamb's ears with some berries and the cotton, and I just thought these were so cute. Very nice looking picks for 97 cents. So way to go, Walmart, for these. I absolutely love these for the fall. I'm just cutting off a few pieces, and I'm going to cut the berry down because I didn't want to add so much. And then I'm just going to start hot gluing these right to the top of my sign, and I am going to add it right on the tip where I glued the little hanger in the front. That's just going to add for extra security and also cover up the fact that I glued it on the front of the sign. So once I get everything tacked down in place, that is going to be it for this sign. Now, out of the signs that I created in today's video, I honestly think this one may be my favorite. I love the color, the simplicity, and I just really think it came out so pretty. Thank you all so much for tuning in and watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed this video just as much as I did. If so, please remember to give this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't already done so, subscribe to my channel because I would love to have you here. As always, in the comment section below, let me know which one of these DIYs were your favorite. And until next time, my sweet friends, stay safe so that I can see you in the next video.